Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. My name is wAFF and this is my review of the Batman. First of all, I just want to let you all know that this is a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil anything here. I might do a spoiler-heavy one in the next day or so, but for now, I'm not going to spoil anything. And also to let you know, I have been sick for like last week. I'm okay now, but my it's still lingering a little bit, so you might hear that in my voice. So anyway, on with the review. So the Batman is finally here. This is a film that I've been really looking forward to for a long time. The fact that I knew that Matt Reeves was going to be directing this and Robert Patterson was going to be playing Batman was a massive selling point for me because I love Matt Reeves' movies, his whole style and his vibe that he always goes for. I really do like it. I feel like he is probably one of the best fitted people to do a Batman movie just from his previous work. I love it. I love the Apes films. After seeing the last two Apes films, and knowing that he's going to do a Batman movie, I was like, that is a sick choice. So I was really looking forward to it just because he's behind it. But then we got Robert Patterson as the Batman, and that felt really exciting because I've come to really love Robert Patterson. He's probably one of my favorite actors at the moment just because, I don't know, he's got a lot of excitement and hype around him. Because he came from the Twilight movies, I haven't seen them, but because he came from that, and now he's doing all these really cool and weird and strange type of characters and roles and movies, I don't know, I feel like he's got a lot of credit behind his name, and I really do like him. I think he's a fantastic actor, and yeah, I just couldn't be more excited to have seen a new movie of the Batman with Matt Reeves directing it and Robert Patterson playing Batman. Sold straight away. So what did I think to the movie? Well, I have to say, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie right from the beginning to the end. It was a lot slower than I expected. I didn't expect it to be as slow as it is. That's not a bad thing because the film is actually more of like a psychological thriller towards a horror at times. Sometimes it feels like it's kind of touching on being a horror, which is sick because Batman is dark. Batman is a really dark, sad, gritty story. The world of Gotham is horrible and dark, and it's full of crime and murder and violence. Like, why wouldn't it be like a horror? Because the world is really fucked up, and you can feel that in this movie. This movie really makes you feel like the world is horrible. Gotham is really violent and horrible and disturbing, and I feel like they nailed it with this film. This is probably the best version of Gotham that I've ever seen, in the films anyway, and I just loved it. I thought it was done so well. The cinematography in this is fantastic, like so good. It's just done so well. It's very artistic. Some of the shots that you get in this are so cool. The effort that's been put in for just one shot alone, you can really tell and see that. It's really cool. It's very arty. It takes its time with this film. It indulges in itself, in its art style, which I really liked. It's not what I expected. I mean, I knew it was going to be more of like a crime thriller detective type of film because I'd heard about that. But I did expect more of an action film than what it was. But I'm glad that we didn't get what I was expecting. I'm glad that it is what it is because it's so different. It's completely different to all the other Batman movies, and I think we needed that. We've had so many good different types of Batman movies and Batman, whatever, and I feel like they needed to change it up a little bit, and this film changes it up a lot. It's really different. It's a crime thriller detective movie, and it's really good. Matt Reeves, the director, has said that some of his inspirations was the Zodiac Killer and Seven. And you can totally see that in here because it feels like you're watching Seven, but it's Batman. Like, what a good choice to have Zodiac Killer and Seven put together and create a Batman movie out of them two ideas. Like, that is such a good concept. And you can feel that in this movie, and it works so well. I think he smashed it with everything. Every single bit of this movie is, like, fine-tuned. It is so good. Robert Patterson as Batman, I was, at first, a little unsure if I liked it. I wasn't sold on him straight away. It kind of felt a little bit like, I don't know. He's very morbid in this. He's very like fed up. He's like angry. He's sad. He's depressed. He's just like a sad version of Batman. He's a younger version. He's lost his parents. He's clearly not over it. This is Batman in year 2 of being Batman. He's just starting to take his anger out on criminals and going through Gotham and trying to like basically take revenge. He calls himself Vengeance, and he's just a moody emo kid. He's not a kid, but I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but he feels like a really pissed off teenager wearing makeup, and at first, it was a little bit weird to see that version of Batman, but as the film went on, I started to feel like, okay, well, this actually would be what he would be like. This feels like actual young Batman, and this is what he would be like. If you're going to spend your life just going out dressed in a costume, kicking the shit out of loads of thugs, you're going to be a bit fucked up, aren't you? So it feels like that. And in the end, I did really come to like Robert Patterson's portrayal of Batman. I think he does a really good job of it. He isn't my favourite Batman. I think that Christian Bale is probably my favourite. It's hard to say. I'd have to wait until we see the next two movies, and then I can make my decision on that. But for now, I think he's a good Batman, but not the best. So, yeah. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, as Selina Kyle, is brilliant. She just is the perfect casting choice. She just nails it. She's just very sexy, like really sexy at points. I'm like, you're sexy as fuck. But yeah, she's very sexy. She can handle herself. She has some really cool fighting moments in this, and she can definitely beat the shit out of you. If you were to try and fight her, she's going to beat your ass. She's just really good in this. She has some head-to-head with Batman at points. Obviously, he's just way bigger than her, so she can never really beat Batman up. But they have some really cool moments, and she can definitely fight. She has the look of Catwoman. She's very petite, and how she walks and how she moves, how she just plays the character. I feel like she is a perfect casting choice for Catwoman. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is brilliant in this. Like, it's just crazy that that's Colin Farrell. You would never know. If we didn't know that was Colin Farrell before watching it, you wouldn't know. When you're watching it, you do see little bits of Colin Farrell come through, but he's just done such a good job of taking on the Penguin. Like, his character, his voice acting, just the way that he is. He's like a horrible person. He just feels horrible. You can feel that he's like this crime boss. It really feels like he's a gangster in this, and I thought that was really, really good. I did really like Colin Farrell. There's some really cool moments with the Penguin, especially one inside the club, which is Printworks. The club that's in this movie, in Batman, is actually Printworks, which is a club in London. It's one of the best clubs in London. It's a massive industrial warehouse, and it's like it used to be a factory for something. Anyway, now it's a nightclub. I've played there many times. It's an amazing club, and that's where the club was set in Printworks. And also, not just that, the music in the club is some really good techno, and some of my friends have made the music for it. Patrick Topping, Kevin Saunderson, and Peggy Goo. I know all of them. I'm good friends with Patrick and Peggy. They've made the music for this film, which is just such a sick thing, and it's really good techno. So yeah, there's some really cool moments, and I was like, I know that spot because I've played there and I know the music because it's my friends. So yeah, I just thought that was really, really cool. There's another really cool moment with the Penguin where the film writes in a certain thing that happens to him to make him look like a penguin. And yeah, I really, really did like that. It's a very small thing, but just a little detail like that I thought was really sick. Andy Serkis as Alfred is great in this. We don't get to see much of him. I would have liked to see more. We probably will get more of him going forward. But yeah, Andy Serkis as Alfred I thought was really good. He really cares for Bruce Wayne. He really wants the best for him. Some things happen in this movie that have never happened before that I know of. Some of the writing for certain characters like Thomas Wayne. There's things that happen around Thomas Wayne that I've never seen before, and I thought that was really good because it's new, it's different, it adds a whole new love, and a whole new other layer to Batman and to Bruce Wayne's life and to his reasoning behind everything. Paul Dano as the Riddler is just such a good casting choice. I love him. Paul Dano is just so good. Like, everything that I've seen him in, he's just smashed it. He can play such a weird character. He's done so many good films and played such a weird character many times that I'm not surprised that they chose him to play the Riddler. He does a really, really good job. I love him as the Riddler. I think he's great. He's really sinister at points. Sometimes he's funny. He's really mental and crazy at times, and you can really feel that he's actually a psychopath. And he has a good reason as to why he's in this movie and as to why he's linked to Batman so much. And he's written very well, and yeah, I just loved his character. He's really, really good. Just such a good casting choice. This film does kind of have two like directions at times. There's a crime detective focus on as to what's going on with the Riddler's riddles and these murders that's going on, but then it kind of goes in between that and onto like the gangster side of it, which is the Penguin and this guy called Falcone. I think he's called Falcone. He has a really big part to play in this. It's difficult to speak any more on that because it would just be touching on spoilers. But yeah, the film kind of goes a little bit in between these two narratives. And at a certain point, I kind of got lost as to what was going on. This film's so long, it's 3 hours long. Like an hour and a half in, I was a little bit like, I'm a little bit lost as to why we're focusing on this. Like, what's the film going towards? Like, what are we actually meant to be doing here? I know what's happening, I know the things that are happening, but I kind of lost a little bit as to why for a moment. I did need the toilet so bad through this film. I was holding it in so much. I had to go to the toilet right in the middle. But like for the whole film, I was pretty much holding it in. So that was taking me out of the movie a little bit because I just felt uncomfortable in my seat, and that was stressing me out. So I did lose a little bit of attention on the film for a moment, but that was probably because I just didn't feel comfortable because I just needed the toilet so bad. But after I went to the toilet, I was fine, and I got sucked straight back into it, and I loved it. I just thought it was a great film. Like I said, it is long. I did feel it. The pacing wasn't bad. It just felt like a long film. And yeah, personally, I could feel that. There is a bit of a love story between Catwoman and Batman, but it wasn't in your face. It wasn't too much. I think it was like the perfect amount. Everyone was in this like the perfect amount. Like, the Penguin isn't even in it that much. He's in it a little bit, but it's not like as much as you would think. Catwoman is in this probably the most out of all the other characters, but she's still not in it that much, but it's like the perfect amount of her in this movie. But yeah, there's a little love story going on, but it wasn't in your face. It doesn't get cheesy. It doesn't get too much. This world that they've created of Batman is really dark. It's a proper serious Batman. It's gritty, it's dark, it's violent, and it's like horrible. So it doesn't start throwing in a love story in there, which I'm glad about, but you do get a little bit, and I thought that it did work. Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon in this is brilliant. I think that he was a really good casting choice as well. I really liked him in this. Jeffrey Wright is just, I love everything he's in. I just like how he plays roles. I feel like he's just a warming character. I don't know. It's just, I like to see him. He's always good in what he does, and he plays really good James Gordon in this. And his relationship with Batman is really good in this. I like that they've made him and Batman like a team, like a detective team. That's really, really good because we haven't seen that before in live action anyway. So yeah, I thought that was done really good as well. All in all, this film is just brilliant. Like, it's so good. Like, everything, right from the art style to the direction, to the casting, to the acting, to the story, to the feel, the vibe. Like I said, it's not a big action film. There is some really sick action sequences, like the car chase was really good. There's some really good fight scenes with Batman. There's a big thing that happens at the end. There's even like an exciting surprise that gets thrown in here, which I'm not going to talk any more about, but you'll know what I'm on about when you watch it. It introduces someone for future films to come, and I knew about this character before because I heard rumors, but I heard that they weren't going to be true. Turns out they are, and I'm so happy about it because it's just, I don't know, I'm just really excited that actually happened. But yeah, this film is amazing. I think it's a great Batman. It's not my favorite, but this definitely stands out on its own, and Matt Reeves absolutely smashed it. It's such a good Batman movie, and for me, if I was to rate this film, I would give it an 8 out of 10. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please hit the like button. That'd be amazing for me. And let me know down below in the comments, have you seen this and what did you think? Did you enjoy it or did you not? I'd love to know your thoughts below. And if you are new here and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time on wAFF World.